Hey there, YouTube. California Prepper. Well, I did a Spyderco collection update, so here is my Kershaw collection update. Haven't really added any new Kershaws to the collection, unfortunately, although there are quite a few of them on my radar. I've been eyeballing, of course, the larger Cryo 2, the Scrambler. If you guys haven't seen the Scrambler yet, that thing's pretty sweet looking. Of course, there's the Thermite that just came out. That's pretty cool. There's just several new Kershaws that have come out, and they're still in the budget knife category, you know, 50, 40, 50, $60 range, and they're all great knives, so I definitely be getting those here in the near future. But until then, let me show you the collection I have so far. Now we're going to start off with my first ever Kershaw. It actually started my quality knife collecting career, as most of you guys know. It is the Needs Work. I absolutely fell in love with the look of this knife when I first seen it. It was actually the blade. I could really care less about the FRN handle. I'm pretty sure it's FRN, glass filled nylon, but it's definitely not G10. But I've seen some G10 models, and I would love to get me some G10 scales for this. But it's a great knife. I absolutely love it. It's a great workhorse. Although it could use a new name that needs work. Just not a great name in my opinion. Kershaw really needs to hire someone to start naming their knives, because they are just horrible. The next one, we have the 3/4 ton. This was my second buy. I actually bought the 3/4 ton and the 1 ton together, so this was the second and third. And I was just looking at the 1 ton last night, and man, for 20 bucks, it really is an awesome knife. You get a frame lock with a nice big belly blade, super smooth, razor sharp out of the box. I've never got a Kershaw. Actually, I take that back. The Brawler, when it came out of the tack pack, was not sharp at all. I had to take it to the sharp maker. But other than that, every Kershaw I've got was razor sharp out of the box, and this was no exception. For 20 bucks, man, you gotta have a 1 ton in the collection. Love this knife. This is one of those knives that, even though it doesn't hold much value, to me it does, and I'll probably never trade it. As well as the 3/4 ton. This is another workhorse. I've put this one through the ringer, and it is still razor sharp. For 8CR13 MOV, these are great knives, especially for the price. I think this goes like 12 or 13 bucks. Definitely can't beat it. Next up, another one of my favorites. I absolutely love the design of the Clash. Those of you guys that follow the channel know my only complaint about this knife is I wish there was just a tad bit more handle, or at least a lanyard hole to where I can attach a lanyard to give me that extra little pinky grip. But man, this is a great knife. More of a budget blur in my opinion. Just a great knife for 25 bucks. Absolutely love it. Great knife. I gotta start carrying this more. Next, we have a collection, all three of the different finishes of the Cryo. We have the black on black, so we got the blacked out Cryo. We have the bead blast, which I love bead blast, so this was a must in my collection. And last but definitely not least, the original titanium coat. That's awesome. I love these knives. Cannot wait to get my hands on the Cryo 2. I'm just waiting for more stores to have them in stock, so I'm not going to be paying the $50, $60 price or the secondary market price. I'll wait till they go down to $39.95 on Blade HQ. Next up, we have the Kershaw Tension. This is a great knife. Got this from fellow YouTuber, I think it was Killer Elite 71. Pretty sure that's who it was. Got a couple knives from him, and this is just a sweet knife. It reminds me of a cross between the 1 ton and the 3/4 ton, whereas it is a liner lock like the 3/4 ton, but it really has the look of a 1 ton with just more of a little clip point. Great knife overall. I mean, $19.99 for a Cabela's exclusive. You can still find them on Cabela's.com for $19.99. Just a great knife for 20 bucks. It's a manual knife, non-assisted. Just a sweet Kershaw that you'd want to add to your collection if you're a Kershaw fanboy like me. Another one, this was one of my favorites until it started having some issues. I'm going to have to send it back into Kershaw. This is the Knockout, as you heard it. It makes a lot of noise. Just the lockup is horrible. Watch that blade. It just rattles around in there. I've talked to Kershaw. They've told me I could send it in, and hopefully they'll be able to fix it for me because I loved this knife. It was by far one of my favorite Kershaws until we started having all this play. I've tried everything to get it out of there, but I can't figure it out. So that's the Knockout. Next up we have a knife that hasn't really been carried at all. Me and my wife seen the Select Fires and we just thought, wow, that's really cool, you know. That would get used all the time, having a screwdriver on the back of it. But believe it or not, we've never carried these. They don't get used, but it is a nice knife to have, you know, in the car, in the glove box, next to a multi-tool, so you have a completely workable knife, and you have your screwdriver, so you don't have to worry about busting the tip off your knife or anything like that, having to use it as a screwdriver. So it is a really cool idea, just doesn't get too much carry time. Next up is the Brawler. I already kind of touched on this. Wasn't too sharp when I got it out of the box, but I've started to like this knife a little bit more. Hey, for 25 bucks, you can't beat this knife plus a tactical pen and a light, so it is what it is. Just a little too small for my liking. Another one of the knives that went to the wife. This is my newest Kershaw acquisition. I won this from Gear 755. Man, I don't know, 755 or 775, one or the other, I always forget. But it's the Kershaw Crown, and I know this is just a cheap little knife, but it is so fun to flick, super smooth, just an awesome little knife. I do like the old timer look, so this is definitely a knife to add to your Kershaw collection, especially for 15 bucks. You can't beat that for 15 bucks. What do we have left? We have two left over here, two of my favorites. We have the Skyline, which is almost everybody's favorite little EDC knife. Super lightweight, but a nice size blade, super sharp, just a great knife. It's one of those knives that's small enough to forget there, but it's big enough to do any task you put in front of it. It's just a great all-around knife. I love the Skyline. And last but not least is a beast, the Kershaw Blur. This is the blacked out model. It's not the tactical Blur with the glass breaker, because I really didn't care about that. But this is a badass knife. Doesn't get carried very much. It's just a little too snappy. If you don't hold on to it, it just feels like it's going to fling out of your hand. I think that's why most people de-assist them. I've been thinking about doing it myself, but I'm not so sure. But this is a bad boy right here. Absolutely love it. When I fell in love with this knife, I fell in love with the black on black, so I had to get it. It's a little too tactical for me, but gotta have one in the collection. And I do have a couple, or one ZT knife now. I did get rid of my beloved 560. So the last ZT in the collection is the 0200, which this is my war knife. I'll never get rid of this bad boy. Actually, I take that back. I thought that about the 562, but things happen. Got a couple knives that I've been wanting for a long time, and it is what it is. So there's the entire Kershaw collection, guys. Hopefully you guys liked the video, and I will put up another video. I don't know what collection I'll do next. Probably do a miscellaneous random knife collection for you guys to piece together the rest of my knives in my collection. So that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support. And we're almost to 500 subs. So if any of you guys watched the video this long and have stuck through and watched the entire thing, make sure to stick around. We have a 500 sub contest coming up very, very soon. So make sure to stick around for that. So that's going to do it. California Prepper, I'm out of here.